let's talk about a few things you didn't know your credit card actually offered. Okay, when you get a credit card, it's not just to actually charge the card for regular expenses, but it's also to actually rack up rewards, for instance, to think about perks, to actually build credit, among other things. Okay, so here are the top facts I want you to really pay attention to. You have to think about aspiring reward points. Okay, now every time you make a transaction, what happens? You are rewarded with points, right? I mean, whether you have a rewards credit card or a credit card that doesn't offer any rewards, there is some element of perks. You just have to. Some perks are automatic. Others are actually on as needed as need basis. Let's just say it this way. You got to reach out to customer service to actually see how many points you have accumulated. The thing is that so every time you make a transaction using your credit card, you are rewarded with points. And the cool thing is you can use these points for, let's say, vouchers, flight tickets, or discounts on shopping, right? It really depends on the setup that you have with the credit card. However, many credit card users forget to redeem their points before they expire. This happened to everybody, including you and me. So as a result, valuable rewards go to waste. Now, some banks even allow point conversion into cash back. So what you want to do is you want to always track your accumulated rewards points. If you do not use them, you are missing out on free benefits. So redeeming them regularly ensures that you get the most out of your spending. Another element I wanted to bring to your attention is that you have international transaction control. So you get the facility to enable or disable international transactions on your credit card. This can be done through online banking or a mobile app, or even call customer service. Okay, so it's actually a good feature to prevent actually fraud. However, many cardholders do not use this option at all. So some unknowingly keep international transactions active, increasing actually the risk of misuse. So that's something to think about. So if you don't use your credit card frequently, it's actually safer to keep this feature disabled. So always activate it only when necessary, because it's actually a good way to protect your budget, to protect your money. If you think about things you didn't know your credit card offered, I want you to think today about contactless payments. Okay, the cool thing about modern credit cards is that they come with a variety of features. So credit cards come with tap and pay transactions facility. Those features improve security and convenience, that's for sure. However, you may still insert your card or enter details manually. This actually increases the risk of fraud, and contactless payments reduce card skimming risks, while virtual cards offer safer online transactions. So if your credit card, let's say, has these features, using them can make payments quicker and more secure. You also have a balance transfer facility. And balance transfer facility is kind of cool in certain setups. Okay, let's say if you have a high outstanding balance on one card, you can transfer it to another bank's credit card, not a problem. Okay, so the transfer facility is really it's pretty cool. And but the cool thing is that when you do a balance transfer, the process often comes with a lower interest rate for a limited period. It can be 21 months. The maximum I know on the market right now is 21 months in terms of balance transfers. Okay, so you're able to have, if you have a 0% free APR period, you are managing debts more efficiently. Okay, but one thing for sure, most users do not explore this feature, the balance transfer facility. They continue paying high interest rates, high interest charges, instead of transferring their balance. So if you are struggling with credit card debts, check if a balance transfer option is actually available on your card. You also have complimentary airport lounge access. Another great thing you didn't know your credit card offered. Okay, some premium, and this is actually cool for premium credit cards, by the way. So some premium credit cards, such as those you have with Chase or American Express, they actually offer free airport lounge access, and this allows you to enjoy comfortably sitting free Wi-Fi, and complimentary meals. However, many users do not check if their card actually includes these benefits. Okay, so some assumes that some users, maybe including you or me, assume it's only for premium cards, but even regular travel cards, travel credit cards, okay, can provide a few free visits per year. The next time you travel, check your car's lounge access feature, okay? It can make your journey much more comfortable without extra cost. Another thing you didn't know your credit card offered is actually the fuel surcharge waiver. So everybody knows in this economy, and it has been like this for many, many years now, fuel prices actually have been high, okay? Many credit cards offer a 1% fuel surcharge waiver at gas stations. So this might not seem like much, but it adds up over time. So if you are a frequent car user, you can save a decent amount annually. And so many people do not use their credit cards for fuel payments, assuming there are hidden charges. However, if your card has these benefits, you can reduce your fuel expenses. Okay, so always check the terms to maximize savings. Another thing you didn't know your credit card offered is actually concierge services for bookings. This is something that a lot of people don't think about. So premium credit cards often provide concierge services. This means what? It means you can call your card provider to book flights, reserve restaurants, or buy event tickets. It's like having a personal assistant, okay? Yet, actually, most users never use this service. They assume it's only for high net worth individuals, but many mid range credit cards also offer concierge help, okay? You also have another feature that I think will be good for you. That's the free add-on cards for a family. So some credit cards allow you to get free supplementary cards for family members. And the cool thing here is that these cards share the same credit limits and I actually offer similar benefits. This helps in managing household expenses better. So if used wisely, add-on cards can be a great way to track and control family spending, especially if you are trying to really you're trying to look at family spending over a year. You're trying to analyze family spending over several years and see the trend. Okay, so think about the free add-on cards for family members. Another thing you didn't know your credit card offered is no cost EMI on large purchases. So let me explain here. So basically, many users, including me and you, pay for expensive items upfront. But credit cards offer no cost EMI options at partner stores. Okay, that's kind of important. So no cost EMI options allows you to split payments over several months without paying interest at all. Okay, so some people avoid this feature, assuming that there are hidden charges. However, if used correctly, it can help manage cash flow better. So instead of paying a large sum at once, spreading the cost over time can be beneficial to you. So this is what you want to really think about. You also have insurance cover on credit cards. So many credit cards provide free insurance benefits, and this can include a lot of things. Let's say accidental death cover. So that's pretty good. Think about that. You have lost card liability protection, or even travel insurance. Travel insurance is kind of cool, especially if you are going to, let's say, you're going overseas. You're not really sure about the country you're going to, and you're taking your whole family, and you want to really cover your back. Literally, travel insurance can help you out. Okay, but one thing I've seen here is that most users do not know about the features I just mentioned: accidental death cover, lost card liability protection, or even travel insurance. Okay, so checking your credit card's insurance benefits can be helpful during emergencies. It can also save you money on travel insurance when flying abroad. Okay, so at the end of the day, I want you to really keep in mind the fact that credit cards offer much more than just reward points. The key is to actually read the benefits and terms carefully. Okay. So if you own a credit card, check if you are using it to its full potential. A little awareness can lead to a significant savings and convenience, especially if you use your card for several things. If you have a lifestyle that dictates some variety in your spending capacity, or you have, let's say, a family, okay, and you are using the card, you're using your credit card for all kinds of purchases. So that's an important element. So when it comes to things you didn't know your credit card offered, let me give you a few extras here. Let's talk about your credit card interest. That interest, that APR can change all the time, okay? I mean, you've signed up for a nice credit card and you are excited by the low APR you've got, but basically, many card issuers can raise interest rates as high as they would like, okay? So it's important to really understand that. So your interest rate is only protected for the card's first year or first 6 months if it's a teaser rate, okay? And that's actually under the Card Act. This is legal. But one thing for sure, if you are over 60 days late on a payment, that protection disappears too. In other words, the protection for the first 6 months, okay, or year. So a variable rate, which most credit cards have, is tied to an index and can also increase if the index goes up. But even if your credit card has a fixed rate today, that doesn't mean that it always will, okay? So just be aware of that. Number two, you can say no to an interest change, by the way. I mean, you can say, you know what, I'm not okay with that. If your credit card issuer hikes your APR, you can say thanks but no thanks under the Card Act. And it's possible the company will cut you a deal actually, cut you a deal and let you keep the old interest rate. But you will have to get that in writing. Okay, don't just take the customer service reps word for it. Okay, no, you want to get things in writing. So what the issuer can do is demand that you pay off the entire bill on short notice. If you refuse the new rate, you should still have several years to pay off your balance under the old rate. And your credit card can protect your purchases. I think I've already mentioned that a little bit. That's really true. Okay, that's an important element when it comes to protection. So let's say you buy something online and it never arrives. What you ordered in the store is not what was delivered. A charge pops up on your bill that's not yours. Don't worry, your credit card has your back, okay? Credit cards provide certain consumer rights that can offer powerful protection. For example, the maximum liability for unauthorized purchases on a stolen or lost credit card is $50 under federal law. Though most issuers have a zero liability policy of some kind to protect their consumers, okay? However, if you report the loss before your credit card is used, you are not legally responsible for any charges you didn't authorize, no matter the issuer's policy. So that's really good to keep in mind. So when I talk about the protections that you have return protection, you have protection against lost or broken merchandise, you have extended warranties, okay? But one thing you also need to know this year is that you may be denied abroad. So when you're traveling, when you're traveling abroad, make sure that you bring a card that's likely to be accepted internationally. Okay, that's something to really understand, okay? And so when you travel abroad, be aware that some of your cards may not work. While Visa and MasterCard are a safe bet, sometimes you may even have to rely on cash, okay? Because this is still the preferred payment method in certain places. And you should also let your credit card company know in advance about your travel plans abroad. Otherwise, the issuer could temporarily suspend charging privileges due to fraud concerns. And also, you may be able to upgrade or downgrade your card without a new inquiry. So that's kind of cool if you're concerned about saving your FICO score and not really endangering your credit score. Okay, so when you apply for a new credit card, an issuer will typically make a hard pull on your credit. And but if you actually, if you want to avoid a hard inquiry, a hard pull, go for a downgrade or upgrade. For example, maybe you have the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, but want to take advantage of the airport lounge access and travel credits offered by the Chase Sapphire Reserve, or perhaps you want to go the other way, downgrade from the Sapphire Reserve to the Sapphire Preferred in order to save money on the annual fee. This will likely be considered a product change, which means your credit will not be subject to a hard inquiry, helping you actually avoid any negative impact on your credit score. Also, one thing you need to understand here is that card balances can be tricky. Let me explain. If you know how credit works, you know that it's actually best to pay off your card in full each month and maintain a low credit utilization ratio, right? You want to be ideally be below 30%. 30%. So if you want to build up or maintain good credit, make a point to never carry a balance by always paying in full before the payment due date. That way you are able to actually save your FICO score real fast, okay? And one thing I want you to really understand here is that you have to really have a certain discipline to actually carry this out every single month. So that's really important. So if you think about things you didn't know your credit card covered, I also want to talk to you about the fact that there are certain things that credit card have implications for. Like for instance, late payments have an impact. That you probably understand, okay? So your bill is late if your payment is received after the statement due date. That means your credit card issuer could hit you with a late fee. Okay, so that's important. And your issuer may be able to help you if you are experiencing financial distress. This is totally possible. If you are, let's say, unable to pay your credit card bills because you are in financial distress, your credit card issuer may be willing to help. Many issuers offer credit card hardship programs for those who are experiencing hard times. If you qualify, these programs may be able to help by temporarily waiving certain fees, reducing your interest rates, and more, okay? So that's important. But one thing for sure, you got to act fast though. You got to act really fast, okay? So acting fast and being prepared is key to getting relief from your lender, because your lender will ask you questions. So if you can't make your minimum payments, for instance, you want to contact your credit card issuer immediately. Be prepared to tell them why you can't make your payments, how much, let's say, you are able to pay, and when you can start making your regular payments again. So this is really, so while it's certainly not guaranteed, many issuers may be willing to work with you until your financial emergency subsides. So that's kind of cool. They're there for you. And also, credit card issuers might pay to keep you, okay? Sometimes a particular credit card works well for you until it doesn't. So closing a card isn't great news for your credit, and maybe you're not excited about your options for a product change, right? But one thing you need to understand here is that luckily there may be another alternative. Some issuers might entice you to keep your card with a retention offer. So when you call your credit card company and say you are considering canceling the card because you don't want to pay an annual fee or the rewards don't work for you anymore, the issuer may come up with an incentive to persuade you to keep the card. You may get your annual fee waived or reduced. You may even receive bonus points or statement credits. It's always better to keep you as a customer than let you close, okay? So, of course, nothing is guaranteed here. Some issuers are known for generous retention offers, while others almost never give them out. Plus, issuers are more inclined to try and keep cardholders who consistently spend on the card. So one way or another, it doesn't hurt to call and ask. Make sure you don't say you've already decided to close make sure you don't say you've already decided to close the card. Just say you are considering it. Otherwise, an agent may just offer to close the card for you, okay? So as a recap in today's conversation, I spoke to you about the top 10 things you didn't know your credit card are covered. And then later on, I talk about a few things and conditions that can really help you, that you need to be aware of when you use a credit card. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.